Hello all, got you something a little bit different here today in the fact that it is a deck profile, but it is for GOAT format. I usually don't do these because the most Yu-Gi-Oh! That I play is Modern, but I delve into GOAT occasionally, and I was actually talking with a buddy of mine about this, and yeah, he's really big into GOATness and format, so he was just asking what I play, and I wanted to say Chaos Control because that's like one of the main ones that I play. But then I actually find myself thinking that I play this deck more so just because it's way funnier to pull off. It's such a memey, gimmicky deck, and it's really funny to resolve if you're able to get to the win con of this deck. So I figured I might as well make a video about it. So what exactly is this? Well, you can see the top two cards here, and it should be very apparent by this point. This is Last Turn. Now, for those of you who don't know, for the small minority of you that may not know, Last Turn is in fact banned in the TCG, but it is legal in GOAT formats. It is at 2, I believe. Yes, it is at 2 because there's only 2 copies of it in this deck. There's a good reason that it is, and I'll let you read I'll let you pause the video and read the text on your own if you want to go through that headache. But basically what this card says is you can only activate this on your opponent's turn if your life points are 1,000 or less. You choose one monster on your side of the field, you keep that, and everything else on both players' fields and in both players' hands goes to the grave. Your opponent then special summons any monster from their deck that they want. Your 2 monsters immediately battle, you go straight to the battle step, and whichever of those monsters is left standing at the end of the turn, whoever's monster is left, you immediately win the duel. So the entire point of this deck is basically to thin the deck and get to the win con of Last Turn, get to Last Turn and other cards, ensuring that this will resolve. Now, the way Last Turn is worded, basically, if your opponent is unable to special summon a monster, you then are technically the only one left with a monster at the end of the turn by the effect of Last Turn, so you win. So basically, the win con of this deck is just thin the deck until you get to a way to make your life points 1,000 or less, and ensure that your opponent can't special summon a monster when you activate Last Turn. As you can see, first card is Last Warrior from Another Planet, which says neither player can special summon. There are other ways to do that as well, and I'll show you that as we get into the main deck, but that's basically the point of the deck, is thin the deck until you get to the win condition. So let's get into the cards that I am playing and get into the deck itself. First of all, Last Turn is at 2, so of course the entire point of the deck, you play to Last Turn. On into the monsters, this is your other way to ensure that your opponent cannot special summon. 3, Jowgen the Spiritualist. Its other effect comes up sometimes, but basically it says monsters can't be special summoned. So you have this on the field, activate Last Turn, your opponent can't special summon, you win. That's basically the entire point. Your other way, and your way to get into Last Warrior, is Triple Cyberstein. Remember, Cyberstein's at 3 in GOAT, so you are able to do this. So summon this, pay 5k, summon Last Warrior, your opponent can't special summon, you see where it's going. Other monsters to help make stuff like that easier. We play the 1 Sangan in order to get into those other monsters a bit quicker. And then the rest is just basically the means to thin out your deck / survive. So we play 3 Thunder Dragon. This in tandem with other stuff like Card Destruction, Graceful Charity. You see the synergy there, and it's basically just deck thinning. And then you play 3 Toon Cannon Soldier, actually, and the reason you do that is because you thin the deck with that and 3 Toon Table of Contents. And Toon Cannon Soldier synergizes with Last Will. If you'll remember as well, there's a very damn good reason that Last Will is banned in the modern card game. If you can pause the video and read the text there on your own, but it's disgustingly broken. But it is legal in GOAT at 3, which is incredibly hilarious. So you see where the synergy with all these cards comes in to help thin the deck / potentially get to your win con faster, which is why you play that. Moving on, your standard draw spells that pretty much everybody plays in GOAT. Pot of Greed's legal in GOAT, so you play it. Graceful Charity's legal in GOAT, so you play it. Upstart Goblin is at more than 1 copy in GOAT, so we play 2 of that. And then Card Destruction to help thin the deck more as well. Really synergizes well when you get hands like Thunder Dragon or Toon Table of Contents. You thin the deck more, you discard the stuff you don't need. It works out nicely. Up next, we have back row removal because we do not want pesky back row to get in the way of our funny OTK. Heavy is legal, so play that. Giant Trunade is not only legal, but at 3, so you do that. So, you know, might as well. And then we play the 1 pre-mat. Helps get Jowgen back from the grave if you need to be able to get to that. Or Cyberstein, you know, it's pre-mat, free summon from the grave, might as well. And the rest is basically just stuff that helps keep you alive if you don't immediately see your win con, because this deck can kind of get slow if you don't open certain hands, which is why you play stuff to help potentially keep you alive to draw into it. So 2 Scapegoat, 2 Messenger of Peace, 1 level limit area B, and 1 Gravity Bind to help keep yourself alive. Why am I not playing more copies of this? Because 1, I wanted to play stuff that thin the deck out more and gets to the win con faster, and 2, I wanted the back row removal in the form of Giant Trunade more so because back row and Goat can be pesky at sometimes, so we do not want to deal with that. And the last 3 cards is one of the other main win conditions of the deck. Wall of Revealing Light is at 3 in Goats, so you want to see into this because basically the combo is, this is the most consistent way to get yourself down to 1,000 or less. So you have, let's say you get into Wall of Revealing Light, you get to the last turn, so you obviously fulfill that, and then you either have Jowgen on the field, or you summoned Cyberstein to get Last Warrior from another planet onto the field, whichever of these 2 you get to first. So you have Jowgen, draw phase, these are set. Draw phase, Wall of Revealing Light, pay 7,000 life points. On resolution, last turn, target Jowgen or Last Warrior, whichever's on the field. You immediately proceed to the battle step, and you win the duel off of the effect of last turn. That is basically the entire point of the deck. Now, I do have a side deck and extra deck, so I'll just go over those briefly, but this is really just like if you're ever in GOAT tournament and you think some of these will come up in different matchups. So side deck, Triple Karibo. This comes up in certain GOAT matchups to try and keep you alive from either direct attacks or just damage in general. I side Metamorphosis rather than maining it because I tested it out. It was kind of clogging up some of my hands. I would draw both copies of this and it would just ruin my day. I really just wanted to play more deck thinning stuff to be able to see the combo more often, and then stuff like the back row removal to ensure that it resolves, which is why I am siding it. But there are of course situations where it comes up, so we play that. 2 Noblemen and 3 Smashing Ground to help be able to clear other problematic stuff. You know, all that comes up. I do have another level limit and a gravity bind in the side deck. I had them in the main deck at first, but I figured what was in the deck already helps keep me alive enough. If I need more floodgates, I can always side them in. And the last 3 cards is more back row hate. We have 3 Dust Tornado in case we have to deal with even more back row nonsense that we just do not feel like dealing with as we get into the game. And then on to the extra deck. My extra deck is not complete. I don't have 15 cards. But the extra deck for this, the only thing you really need is Last Warrior from another planet. But the rest is just pretty much GOAT staples. You know, stuff like your Thousand Eyes Restrict, your Dragoness and Darkfire Dragon for Metamorphosis targets to be able to trigger Sangan or any of the other rest of the stuff. Reaper on the Nightmare, Ryu Senshi, Fiend Skull Dragon. These are all you know, staples that pretty much everyone plays. And then, like I said, Last Warrior from Another Planet is really the only mandatory one because you get into this off of Cyberstein and it can be your win con in order to resolve last turn without your opponent being able to special summon. But that is basically all I've got for you. I'm not really going to go through a combo or a test hand in this deck because if I'm being honest, a lot of opening hands in this deck are just really not that great, which is why you play a lot of stuff to just keep you alive and get into it. But like I said, the goal of this deck is pretty much to just thin the deck and get to some combination of last turn, a way to get your life points below 1,000, and a way for your opponent to not be able to special summon so that you win the game. It's not as consistent as you would like it to be, but it's consistent enough, at least, you know, keeping you alive for a good number of turns, hoping that you'll be able to get to it. But if nothing else, it's just funny to do. I've been able to resolve this a couple times in some games, and it's just hilarious to be able to pull it off, if nothing else. But that is all I got for you. Hopefully you enjoyed the, I think this is the first GOAT video I've ever done. But hope you enjoyed. Thanks for tuning in, and have a great rest of the day.